Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host TC Stills. Check out the intro and we will be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger, I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Good morning, Yankees universe. Like I said, welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew this Tuesday, June 20th. I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. All you Yankee fans out there, wake up and get your coffee. TC, how are you feeling? Well, first and foremost, before we get into how you're feeling, right? First of all, happy Father's Day to everybody that was in the chat. You know, if you're a father, if you have your father in your life, happy Father's Day. And then on top of that, shout out to all of you subscribers because we are at 700 subs right now, on our way to 800 and beyond. But I want to take this moment to give a shout out to the channel, all the people that's in the chat, all of you guys that wake up every morning to tune into the show. We definitely appreciate you guys. But TC Stills, how you feeling?
Good. And I also want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and to my father. I didn't get to spend time with him because I'm on the other side of the United States. But my brother was there. He took him out to dinner and celebrated for me. So props to him and props to all the fathers out there. We need good men leading
Yes.
the young generation. Man, it's just bad out there, and we need some good, strong fathers out there, and it's good to see all the chats out here, all the happy fathers. That's great to see. But
Facts.
I'm doing good. I know the Yankees aren't, but how are you doing?
I'm trying to do good. That's what I'm trying to do, right? So, before we get into it, shout out to the chat. Let's do a little bit of the roll call. My brother, Mr. Pete Seminetti, a.k.a.
Pete.
Pooty Doo, is in the chat. Pete, my brother, how you doing? Uncle Tats and the Pinstripe Chronicles is in the building. Jerry Cadell. Oh, happy Father's Day, Jerry. Hope all is well. Salute. Unpopular Opinions is in the building. My guy Sean Browning is in the building. Anthony Medina de la Isla. Anthony, my brother, how you doing? Jonathan, what's good? Oh, wait, this guy Jiggerman Porto. I know that guy. How you doing?
How you
L.I. Yankee King, the top troll in the entire Yankee universe. Yankee King, L.I., what it do? KC, fun time, how you doing? Yo, I swear to God, every time I see this person in the chat, I always get super excited. 01LS1Z2ADABX, how you doing? Salute. Eric Wallace, my guy EY, how you doing? Alan Landsman, appreciate you, my guy. Like I always say, salute. 3 capital S's. If you guys can smack that like button for the boys as we get ready to have this conversation. We have 20 people in the building, so I should have at least 20 likes. Smack that like. My guy Booger Brain is in the building. Booger Brain, how you doing? D-Rod is in the building. Yankee fans,
D-Rod.
This weekend, if we can say it was the Boston Massacre. It was the tea party, throwing the tea over the boat. That's what happened this weekend in Boston as the New York Yankees. You get this? We get swept by our division rival, by the last place Boston Red Sox. Honestly, after Friday's game, TC, Saturday when I was in Jersey, and I was hearing that the game is most likely going to get rained out, I said it to myself. I'm like, oh my God, doubleheader on Sunday. That means we're going to get swept. And what happened? We got swept. The offense, non-existence. The defense, sloppy. It's like
Very
if
bad.
I was ever watching a JV junior varsity baseball game, that's what I was watching with these New York Yankees. Where are the fundamentals when it comes to making sure that you can make the regular average MLB play? Where is the attention to detail? You don't see it with this team. It's like the energy is gone. The excitement is gone. We are at June 20th, and I said this a month ago, TC. You remember when I said that the Yankees were lucky that the Knicks were in the playoffs, that the Rangers was in the playoffs, that the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, because then the Yankees could just hide under every other storyline in New York City. Well, guess what? You
Not
can't
now.
hide now. You stick out like a sore thumb. And baseball in New York City right now, this may be probably one of the worst summers so far when it comes to baseball in New York City, because not only are the Yankees struggling, but the Mets are struggling in Queens as well. TC, what's your thoughts? I apologize for being long-winded as well.
No, not at all. Hey, it's a disgrace because the payrolls are so high for both teams. I mean, the Mets have the highest payroll in baseball.
Yeah.
And they're playing some terrible ball. But as for the Yankees, I mean, since Judge has gone down, this team has just lost all ability to play. I mean, in hitting, in fielding, in base running, in it just everything. I mean, before it was just okay. They're not hitting a little bit. They'll come around, but it's gotten to everywhere. I mean, even the pitching. The bullpen's starting to slide a little bit. Michael King got roughed up, and the starting pitching is just not going deep in games. And I mean, it's everywhere, and it's sad to see. I mean, to lose to a last place Red Sox team who threw out an opener who I don't even know has he even pitched in the majors, and they're just piecing together pitching that makes the Yankees look foolish. I mean, if they could bring their bat boy or their ball girl out there and throw no hitters against the Yankees. This team is so bad. It's not even worth watching. But as Yankee fans, diehards, we will watch, and it's just painful.
Yeah, it's upsetting and frustrating because you said it. Because we're diehards. We're gonna watch every game, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy, Mr. Silk Buckets in the chat. Salute to you, Mr. Silk Buckets. Also, too, we got 30 people in the building. So if you guys can, please smack that like button. And if this is your first time tuning into the Morning Brew, make sure you hit the subscribe button so we could get our subbies up as well.
Yeah.
But hold on, let me just point something out. Because Booger Brain said, I love pausing a video and seeing Hector's excruciating face regarding these Yankees. Absolutely, bro. I have all these faces. Chase 777 is in the building. Chase, how you doing?
Yeah,
and with all that said, like you said, Hector Cruz is in the building. Anthony Garcia, appreciate
Anthony,
you guys.
How you doing?
Mitchell Fernandez is in the building. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate all you guys. With all that being said, right? With the situation when it comes to Judge being out, with the way that this team has been performing, we try to figure out who is to blame when it comes to this, right? We'll get into that in a second. But regarding Aaron Judge, it would be our luck as Yankee fans, right, when it comes to this organization. Because when it comes to Aaron Judge's injury, it seemed like our medical staff, they misdiagnosed Aaron Judge. Right. We were told at first it was just one tendon in his foot. But now that the swelling has gone down, it seems like it was two tendons in that big toe that seems to be bruised or seem to be contused, whatever is the medical terminology for it. Right. So it wasn't just one tendon in his foot. It was two. So, yes, it would be our luck that our medical staff misdiagnosed Aaron Judge because they couldn't get the full MRI imaging because that first tendon was swollen, right? So when you try to point blame, it's kind of hard to point blame to be like, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault. Shout out to my brother Pete Simonetti over on NYY News TV, because he went on Twitter and he said the Yankees have become a just get in organization. Excuses breeds losers, as Pete says. It's very easy to say that we are a World Series caliber operation, proving it is another thing. And when it comes to the Yankees, it's just another day in the ballpark, right? You can say that you are a World Series caliber organization, but when you put the roster together and you're the person trading for these players, the reason why we're complaining that Giancarlo Stanton is struggling and not performing is because Brian Cashman got him, right? We're here struggling, trying to find a left fielder to play left field because Brian Cashman decided to go with a platoon of two players that were infielders and Aaron Hicks, right? All of these things that we are complaining about right now, it's all self-inflicted wounds from the front office. And I've heard people time and time again say that, well, Brian Cashman, winning seasons 13 years in a row. We've been competing. We get to the playoffs. We just can't get over the hump. I've said this on the last show. When it comes to this team, we are the New York Yankees. You can be one of those teams that make it to the playoffs, and that is just enough for you. If you guys are basketball fans, you understand this analogy, right? And I'll throw it over to TC to get his take. But if you guys are basketball fans, you will understand this. In the 2010s, right, the Atlanta Hawks were a team that consistently won 50 games every season, consistently was in the playoffs every season. But what happened to the Atlanta Hawks? Every season, every time they're in the playoffs, they get eliminated out of the playoffs by either the Toronto Raptors or the Cleveland Cavaliers. So us as Yankee fans, we got to take a step back and we have to ask ourselves, are we just the Atlanta Hawks, or are the New York Yankees the Golden State Warriors or the Cleveland Cavaliers? Because we have been born and bred to believe that it's either World Series or bust. If you're just happy just getting into the postseason, just making it to the postseason, just being a part of the conversation, if that just gets you happy, cool. Let us fans know, because us fans, we're not going into the postseason, whoa, we're just happy to be here. No, we're going into the postseason with the mindset that we can actually win this thing. TC, am I off base by complaining about that?
No, not at all. I mean, we see it year in, year out. This organization is okay with getting in the postseason, and their regular season roster basically is built around home run or nothing, and so that's okay during the regular season. You'll get your occasional home runs. You'll score some runs. You'll be okay during the regular season, but that roster is not built for the postseason. They don't have the aces that other staffs have against us. They don't have the guys that come through with the clutch hitting in crucial situations, 2 out hitting, and it's just not a team like that. And it's built right now. It's built around one guy, Aaron Judge, and you can't have a Major League Baseball team built around one player.
Nope.
In the NBA, you might be able to. But in Major League Baseball, you have 9 guys out there, and you count on all of them. You count on your pitchers and your hitters, and there's a lot involved. And you can't rely on one guy. And we see it. Judge is out, and this team has fallen on its face. It's a disgrace, and it goes to Cashman. Cashman has seen this coming. He's seen it year in, year out. He sees the anemic hitting. He saw them get swept in the ALCS last year, couldn't hit, but did he make any changes? No, he brought back the same team. So that's insanity. When you do the same thing over and over and over, that's insanity. So, he deserves all the blame, and nothing will be done. He won't take. Someone else will be the scapegoat if it's a hitting coach, and God forbid it's Aaron Boone. But Cashman is just he's hiding right now. He's out and camping somewhere or doing, he's not taking any accountability for this.
And I want to give a shout out real quick to one of our good friends, a friend of the channel. We're working on getting them on, whether that be the Jets Evening Brew or the Yankees Morning Brew. But I know time constraint is kind of hard to do that. But Brandon Tierney with WFAN and Tiki Barber, they were having the conversation yesterday, right? And shout out to BT because he said it. He said he needs to have a conversation with Brian Cashman just to have the convo, just to ask him, what's your thought process when you put this team together, right? Is this the team that you envisioned when you went out and you got these players? Like, I've seen this going around on Twitter, right? And the tweet that I have on the screen lays it out simply and perfectly, right? Brian Cashman is the person who chose Clint Frazier over going out there and signing Bryce Harper, right? Brian Cashman is the person that decided to go with Miguel Andujar instead of signing Manny Machado, right? Brian Cashman is the person. Listen, I love Jose Trevino, but you had Sean Murphy out there available to get traded for. You're the person that decided to go to keep Jose Trevino. He is the same person that said that Gio is a nice player, but he's no Josh Donaldson. You remember when Brian Cashman said that about Josh Donaldson when we got Josh Donaldson? These are all moves that Brian Cashman has made. No one else. It wasn't Aaron Boone that traded for Josh Donaldson, right? And I know a lot of people that like to just beat up on Boone. I'm guilty of that as well. But this roster construction, this is not on Aaron Boone, right? No. We can expect Aaron Boone, especially after getting swept by the Boston Red Sox, right? We cannot expect Aaron Boone to come at a press conference and say, well, you know what? Josh Donaldson's a bum. He's horrible. Giancarlo Stanton, he's overpaid. He's washed. We can't expect Aaron Boone to say that. He's going to go to that podium in the press conference, and he's going to try to, how can I say this? He's going to try to sugarcoat and paint a picture that's not really there. He's there to support his guys. The person that needs to take all the blame for this situation is Brian Cashman. Just think about it, TC. Just think about it. Yeah. Over the past, since 1998, since he has taken control of this team, what players has this man developed? And we've talked about it, right? We've talked about it countless times. Robinson Cano, Brett Gardner, and Aaron Judge. Those are the only three position players that actually became all-stars under Brian Cashman.
Yeah.
What other players has this man? What starting pitching has this man developed? Luis Severino, who's often injured and can't keep it together. Yeah. Ching-Ming Wong, who won 18 games, got injured and was never the same. Phil Hughes, Jabba Chamberlain, Ian Kennedy, Ivan Nova, Debbie Garcia. Just don't think about it. Name me the starting rotation that Brian Cashman has developed while being the GM of this team.
There are none. It's just there's no development. Bad.
It's frustrating because TC and I want to have these conversations without sounding like a broken record, coming every day and complaining about the same thing. We don't want to do that. Let me look at the chat real quick. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Keith Saunders, that's in the building. Keith, how you doing? Briscoe, what it do, my guy? Salute to you. Salute. Silk Buckets just says Boone doesn't deserve the amount of shit he gets. It's clear that the roster isn't constructed properly, but people are mad at Boone for liking Volpe and Willie Big Bang. I agree with you. So that's why I just said it wasn't Aaron Boone. If you want to complain about Aaron Boone's mishandling of the bullpen, you can have a conversation about that. I'll sit down and have a conversation about that. But when we talk about the roster construction for this team, that's only one person and one person alone. That's Brian Cashman. That's not Hal Steinbrenner. That's Brian Cashman. Hal Steinbrenner, he writes those checks. He gonna write the checks. He trusts Brian Cashman. And if you want to blame Hal Steinbrenner for his blind trust of Brian Cashman, copy. You could do that. But at the same time, Brian Cashman is the person that is going out there and making these trades and bringing these players in. He traded for Giancarlo Stanton and his massive contract and a no-trade clause. Now, when we look at it, we got Stanton for the next few years. Who's going to want Stanton? This is going to be
Nobody.
another contract that the Yankees are just going to have to eat and cut him at one point. Go ahead, TC. I'm sorry. I'm just over here just being long-winded.
No, it's okay. And Yankees drive us to act this way, but I mean, he's just a DH. He can't do anything else. We have enough DHs. We had an Aaron Judge. We didn't need a Stanton. We need athletic, guys that can hit, that can play the field, 5-tool guys. Uh, these huge contracts. It's Cashman trying so hard to go against the grain, to think that he's smarter than every other GM out there, to bring in these guys. Oh, this is the deal that's gonna put us over the top. I'm gonna work my magic. I'm gonna move some pieces and move some parts, and it's gonna all work out. No, he's messed this team up. I mean, the Gio Urshela deal that with the Donaldson and getting IKF. I mean, that's horrible. We could have had Gio. We could have had even Carlos Correa. We could have had any shortstop. I mean, there was nothing wrong with Gio. I don't know what that whole deal was. And then, Aaron Boone can only work with the guys that Cashman brings in. He's bringing in Willie Bang Bang. He's bringing in Jake Bowers. He's got to work with these guys. These are not major league players. They're trying to be. They've been cast-offs. There's a reason why the Rangers got rid of Willie and Indians got rid of Jake Bowers, and there's a reason for that. Why do we think that we're going to resurrect these guys every single year? We can see it. The writing's on the wall. That they're done. These guys are not major league players. Can Cashman go out and get some major league talent for once? I don't understand it. I just don't. And Hal needs to. He really, this has to be it with him. He's got to pull the plug on Cashman. He's done enough to wreck this team for years, and enough's enough.
Yeah, bro. I'm right there with you with saying enough's enough.
Yeah.
It's losing its taste, it's losing its pizzazz. If you're a corporation that you've been through a bunch of bad mishaps over the past 5 years or 10 years, when you're used to putting out A1 product, you go through a rebranding. And that's what the Yankees have to do right now. We have to go through a rebrand. We have to get rid of Brian Cashman, which, sad to say, it's not going to happen because he just signed an extension. It's not going to happen until at least 2 years down the line. So we could sit here and complain about Brian Cashman all we want until we're blue in the face. It's not going to happen unless this Yankees season is a complete collapse and we don't even make the postseason, which with the way that we're playing right now, it looks like we're not going to make the postseason. If we're losing to a series to the Red Sox, to the White Sox, we're splitting series with the Mets. If that's how we're going to play for the rest of the season, you can guarantee we're not going to make the postseason. If this is what we're going to expect for the rest of this postseason, it's sad to say we're not going to make the postseason. And Briscoe in the chat just said it. Hold on, wait. He said it a little while ago. He said Brian Cashman said no to Bryce Harper and Manny Machado. How is he still employed? How?
I don't know. But I mean, they need to hit rock bottom. That's what's going to make the changes around here, because every single year they're right on the fence. We're making it. We're not as good with this or that. We're just coasting, making it into the playoffs. They need to hit rock bottom, especially with this Judge situation. They're not telling us he could be out for the season.
Man.
And I mean, they're not going to tell us that. But the way they're going, they almost, might as well. All-Star break, we're out of the wild card. I think they should just shut him down for the year, have surgery, hit rock bottom, and clean house. And next year, like NYY Recaps was saying, they need to change everything. Everything. I mean, the Gatorade, the grass, the
The coaching
stadium
staff,
vendors,
the
coaches,
person that
everything.
delivers the mail to you guys. Everybody needs to go. You
Everything.
need to clean house.
Everything.
Clean house.
Yes.
And Li just brought up a question, right? A great point. Not a question, but a great point. He said, wait till we go 0-6 versus the Mariners and Rangers. Yeah. We start a 3-game series against the Mariners tonight, and then we got the Texas Rangers coming into town. And then that's when we're going to be tested to see what happens against the Texas Rangers. But we can easily go 0-6, like Li just said, over the next 6 games.
Yeah.
Right. And then you include the Red Sox series where we got swept. That's 0-9. That can easily happen. Easily. Yeah. We already got smoked by the Rangers this year. They already went to town on us this season like it was a football game. That was the score.
Yeah, it's we're at a complete disadvantage. We look like a JV team against an NFL team or something. I mean, it is. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3 up. Lineup just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Nothing. There's no energy. There's no excitement. I mean, the guys are swinging at ridiculous pitches. I mean, I think it was John Boy that brought up a stat.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we brought up a stat about 3-1 counts. They're the worst hitting team with 3-1 counts. That should be the best count.
That should be when you're feasting.
Exactly, and they're horrible. They're like 30th in the league. I mean, don't even get me started on the on base percentage. What are they, 298? I mean, that
the Yankees. we are third. We are third in Major League Baseball on the bottom. We are the third worst team when it comes to on base percentage. Without Aaron Judge in the lineup, we are the worst team in baseball when it comes to on base percentage. Just let that sit in your head and let that fester. With Aaron Judge in the lineup, we are the third worst on base percentage in the league, OBP. We are the third with Aaron Judge. Without Aaron Judge, we are the worst on base percentage team in Major League Baseball. Ruben says it in the chat, and shout out to my man, NYY News, Ruben El Numero Rubito. He said, at this point, call up Florial and play him every day until the rest of the year. Give him a long look because they aren't making the wild card at this pace.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What do they have to lose?
There should be no reason why Peraza isn't up here. There should be no reason why Florial isn't up here. There should be no reason that Andres Chaparro isn't scratching the major league surface right now. With the way that this team has been performing, you need to make those moves. And if you want to talk about, we can't move pieces around, put Anthony Rizzo on the IL. He needs to be on the IL for about 15 days so he can get himself straight. Let Jack Bauer play first base and then bring up Esteban Florial to play the outfield. Get rid of Josh Donaldson, cut bait with him. He's talking about retiring. We'll talk about that later on, but move on from Josh Donaldson and play Peraza. We're like, what are we doing? We have to switch things up. Maybe inserting some youth into your lineup will wake up these veterans. Just a maybe.
Yeah. What do you have to lose? Can you get any worse than this offense? I mean, the guys are right there. I mean, also Ben Rortvedt. I know he was injured for a little bit. I think he might be okay. Bring him up. Our catching situation is horrible. Trevino can't hit. Higgy's not much better. I mean, honestly, I don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, Peraza is the future of this team. There's no way he should be in AAA. He should be on this. He should have been on this team months ago. I don't know what they're looking at. And Florial, I mean, at least he can play the outfield. I mean, we got Bader coming back supposedly today. I don't know. They're gonna pull the rug out of us again on that one.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't trust this team when it comes to that, right? Also, guys, we got 47 people in the building watching. If you guys can smack that like button, smacky the like button, like my brother Pete Seminetti says. Help us get to 40 likes on the stream. Also, if you are watching this and if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Over the past couple of weeks, we've been getting a lot of people watching our content that aren't subscribed. So if you guys can help us out with a subscribe, it doesn't hurt that much. It doesn't even cost. It's free. All you got to do is tap that button. But bro, we got Garrett Cole tonight, right? We got to talk about the Mariners coming into town. We got Garrett Cole tonight. If there was ever a time we needed Garrett Cole to be ace Garrett Cole and give us 7 innings, it's tonight. He should have pitched into the 7th inning last time out, but I'm going to stay away from that. 95 pitches and you take him out in the 6th inning, copy, cool. Garrett Cole needs to go long for us. This is whenever Garrett Cole is pitching, that's the only time I have confidence in this team that we will get a victory. We need Garrett Cole to step up today, because if not, if Garrett Cole is out in the 5th inning, it's going to be a long day. A long day. Also, too, make sure you guys go watch tonight Game Season Live with my brother Pete Simonetti. Eric Kratz and Scott Braun will be on tonight. nyynewstv Game Season Live. Make sure you tune in. Be there or be squared. Shout out to my guy Jason Lang in the building. Jason, how you doing, my guy?
And at least if the game sucks, you still get entertained by Pete. You know?
That's the one bright spot.
Fun to watch. So I turn off Michael K and the Yes Network. I'm listening to Pete. Hey, that's entertainment. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Hector Cruz just asked, who is pitching tomorrow? Hold on, Heck. I tell you right now, for tomorrow, the Yankees, it's undecided. The Yankees, they haven't even said who's going to pitch for tomorrow. So as of right now, I don't know, Jace. I don't know. All right, maybe you gonna be pitching for the Yankees tomorrow, Hector Cruz. I have no idea as of right now, because you cannot make this ish up when having these conversations about this team. You cannot. I would never thought, like, it's just a roller coaster of mixed emotions in a mixed bag. Like a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when Judge was back in the lineup, we was feeling so good about this team. He was having a better start this season than what it was for last year. He had an IL stint that we missed him. He came back. He was performing, and then he hit his toe, and now we're stuck in this spot. I don't even think we've won a series since Judge has been out. I don't think since the Dodger series, we haven't won a series since Aaron Judge has been out.
I honestly don't see them winning any series going forward without Judge, and that's on the management. I mean, they knew they had nobody behind Judge, and they didn't do anything, and it's sad. It's sad to see, the guys that we bring up, like the Rizzos and Stantons and Donaldson and DJ the Mayhew, and they're just falling on their face. They're not performing. It's just sad to see them decline, and it's unfortunate. I think it's time for all of them to go. It has to be a full turnover of this roster next year.
As much as it will suck, right? In order for change to happen, when it comes to either Cashman, Boone, whatever, in order for change to happen, the Yankees have to go on a real bad stretch. As much as it will suck and it will be painful for us diehard Yankee fans, you have to hope, and I don't want to say this, it's tough for me to say this, but you have to hope that this team loses almost every series going forward, because that's the only way we are going to get change. That's the only way.
The wallet, though. We got to hit them in the wallet.
Mm-hmm. Even if we
don't go to games, don't tune in, don't help the sponsors. I mean, they get the Yes Network money, and they get the big corporations that sit in the front row. But I
would say even I would even say don't tune in. Show up to the games and boo as loud as you can. Is what I would say, right? Show up to the games. If you're not going to watch the games on TV, stop watching the games on TV. But show up to the games and root for this team to be bad, because that's the only way we will get changed. And I know some people may be watching this, or they may clip it or whatever and say, how can he be a Yankee fan saying that we should root for this team to be bad? I'm saying it because if we don't root for this team to be bad, change will not come. And if we are just happy with the status quo right now, it's going to continue, and it's not going to stop. If we keep on supporting what we're seeing on the field, it's not going to change. The only way change is going to come when it comes to the front office, when it comes to the coaching staff, Aaron Boone, The only way change is going to come if devastation comes before it. If the Yankee fans are just frustrated, and if the front office sees our frustration with the constant losing and losing and losing, that's the only way Hal Steinbrenner will make change. If we make it to the postseason by getting in via the wild card, and they still get that postseason bonus, then ain't no change gonna come. No change is gonna happen.
No,
it's gonna be the
won't.
same thing, the same status quo every year, year in and year out.
Same
Go
as
ahead,
last year.
TC.
We got swept in the ALCS. Was there any change? Nothing, because they made the postseason and they blame the fans. Oh, you guys are mad that we lost in the ALCS. We at least made the playoffs. Are you kidding me? We're not. We don't care about making the playoffs. We want a championship. It's been too long. 14 years since 2009. I mean, that's too long for a Yankee fan to go. Especially with the payroll they have to work with. I mean, that should be embarrassing for Cashman to put this on the field. Almost a $300 million team, and this is what we see on the field. That's mismanagement of money. I mean, how you want this guy to manage your money? I wouldn't. He'd be fired 5 years ago. You can't have this.
Medina says it. If they were to say we're bringing up the kids, then I'm fine with that. But don't gaslight us Yankee fans saying that this is a championship caliber team, much less a playoff contending. It is tiring. Absolutely, Medina. Yeah. When you gaslight us, when you try to change our observation of what reality is when it comes to this team, that's when it's a smack in the face to us fans. Like Medina said, stop gaslighting us and just let us know what it is. If you think Aaron Judge is going to be out to the middle of August, just let us know so we can temper down our expectations and we can emotionally prepare for the trash that we're going to see over the next month and a half, if not 2 months. If that's the case. I thought at first when we had the conversation with the doc, and I have to bring the doc back on since we got this new news about Judge's toe. I thought from what the doc was saying, we'll get him back before the All-Star break. With the news that came out over the weekend, he got a second PEP shot or whatever it's called. He got a second shot in his toe. It's another tendon, not just that one tendon that is contused, that is swollen. That makes me believe that we're not seeing Judge until the middle of August, maybe the end of August, if we are lucky. If we even see him for the rest of the season, point blank.
Yeah, because he said it was 2 to 3 weeks from that point, but now with another ligament, that's at least another 3 weeks on top of that. So yeah, it's going to be probably up to 6 weeks, and I don't expect to see him until late July, August, if that. And yeah, they're not going to tell you this. They want the people to hold out hope and buy tickets. It's all about tickets and money for them. And
yes,
and they don't care about the fans. They don't care about winning. That all stopped when George passed away, and it's unfortunate. I really wish that if Hal doesn't have the same drive as his dad, sell the team. I mean, if not, then make changes and make us think that you really do care. By you talking on talk shows and saying, "Oh yeah, well these guys are our future," and this, you're just giving us lip service. You're not doing anything behind the scenes. You're putting the same crap on the field, and it's just disgrace. It's just disgrace to the fans who actually go out and support this team.
Shout out to my guy Damian Serrano in the chat. This right here hit it right on the head. So if not making the playoff means that change will happen, then as bad as it hurts, it may be a blessing in disguise. Absolutely. And I'm not saying that I don't want to root for my team. I'm not saying that, right? I know some people may take what I'm saying as me saying I just want to root for this team to lose. I watch every game because I want this team to win. I'm invested in every inning. I'm invested in every pitch. I'm invested in every at-bat because I want this team to win. But if this is the crap that we have to deal with, enough is enough. Enough is enough. You can talk about the injuries. Cool. Copy. Injuries happen, right? We can't foresee injuries, right? You can talk about veterans not stepping up and producing like they're supposed to produce. Copy, that's all and good. The reason why we're dealing with these veterans that aren't producing, the reason why we're dealing with players that are injured is because Brian Cashman got these players. The only reason we're having conversation about Giancarlo Stanton and him being a shadow of the player that he used to be from back in the day when he was the MVP is because Brian Cashman traded for him. The reason why us Yankee fans are frustrated with Josh Donaldson and his $25 million contract is because Brian Cashman traded for him. That is the only reason why we're frustrated. I love Anthony Rizzo. Don't get me wrong. I love Anthony Rizzo. I love him as a Yankee. But Freddie Freeman was out there as a first base option, and we decided to go with Anthony Rizzo and not Freddie Freeman. Like I said, I love Anthony Rizzo. I love him. I love him as a Yankee, but you cannot tell me you would rather have Anthony Rizzo over Freddie Freeman. If you're telling me that, then you are delusional.
Yeah. Yeah,
and hold on. I just want to point something out about Pete, because Pete also said it in the chat. This is why NYY News TV was created. That right there. The Yankees say bullshit like that because too many fans still fall for it and the propaganda machine that runs with it. We need to continue growing. Absolutely,
Yes,
Pete.
sir.
And I know some people may say that, oh, it does no good for you just to complain every day and for you just to be upset every day. For you, it may not do good. But for me, it gives me a little bit of therapy. It allows me to have the conversation with my friend TC Stills and have the conversation with the chat as well. We appreciate everybody. We got 44 people in the building. Please smack that like button. Robbie Gaines is in the building. Stanton is the reason we weren't in on Harper or Machado. True. And who traded for Giancarlo Stanton, Robbie? Brian Cashman traded for Giancarlo Stanton. Giancarlo Stanton, who only played right field for his entire career, who was aging as well after getting that massive contract extension. What made Brian Cashman believe that he could play Giancarlo Stanton in left field and Aaron Judge in right field? What was the deciding factor when it comes to that? Go ahead, TC.
Like I was saying, Cashman seems to know baseball better than everybody else, and he wants to do his own things. But what's going on with the hitting? I think it's the philosophy, because I mean, honestly, look at some of the guys like Hicks. He left. He's batting over 300 with the Orioles. Gary Sanchez found new life with the Padres. These guys.
Gary Sanchez he has his second highest batting average of his career with the Padres right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, whatever's going on with Dylan Lawson and Brad Wilkerson and whoever else that they showing them how to hit, it's just not working. I mean, we have Anthony Volpe, for an example, fixed his own stance from eating chicken parm with Austin Wells. I mean, it's unbelievable that they keep sticking with this guy who has no idea how to teach hitting, and it's insanity. They keep doing the same thing over and over without any change. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else. I mean, Pete, he brings up a good point. Yes, he gets on the team for propaganda and BS and all that. But guess what? When we're doing well, Pete's right there, number one cheerleader, in their corner. So it's not just he's always on top of them. This team needs change, and they need to stop with the BS. And that's what we're here for. We need some real answers, real change, and that's what we're looking for.
And enough with the sugar coating. If something is not working, it's not working. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. We've gotten to the point that, yes, our bullpen has been phenomenal. Best bullpen in Major League Baseball. But when your offense isn't scoring any runs, when you're starting pitchers, when they're only getting you through 5 innings, maybe 6 innings, you're going to get to a point where you bend your bullpen and you break them.
Yep. They're burnt out.
Sorry, TC. I just had,
Okay.
truck passing by or whatever,
Oh.
right? Also,
Uh-oh.
got
Could
a
be Aaron
shout
Boone.
out to the chat as well. Ellie in the chat. We're being lied to when the front office tell us we're a World Series caliber team.
Yeah.
Why are we supporting this? Absolutely. Also, we got 52 people in the building. If you guys can smack that like button and
Yeah,
also hit the
46
subscribe
likes.
button. It's a crazy AK-47 morning, guys. I follow NYY News and seen this channel and so forth. It's right in my line. Speaking facts and none of this beating around the bush-ish. Michael K has an interview with Hal tomorrow. And
Yeah.
that's what gets me so upset, because I appreciate that chat right there, but that's what gets me so upset. When us Yankee fans, when we're frustrated, when we get upset, and we want to hear from the front office, do they go on outlets that are actually going to hold them accountable and ask the hard-hitting questions? No, they go to Michael K. Right? That's who they go to. They go to Michael K. They go to the Yes Network as well to sit down and have conversation. Right. Call up Brandon Tierney from WFAN, because I know my man BT is going to ask you the hard-hitting questions.
He goes at him. Yeah, he's tough.
There's a reason. There's a reason Aaron Boone decided that he wasn't going to keep doing the interviews with Craig Carton and the other and the guys over there at WFN, because they asked the hard hitting questions. Evan and Craig last year and the year before. Aaron Boone, you could tell he was uncomfortable with the questions that they were asking him. Come on, enough is enough.
Yeah, the baby. I mean, this team babies their players, and guess what? We are the Yes Network babies the ownership. It's the same thing. Where's Cashman? Where's he at? He's not taking any accountability for this.
Listen, when it comes to Cashman, right? And this is where my frustrations start. You guys remember when I went through Brian Cashman's history as a GM when it comes to his trades and his free agent decisions. Listen, let this sink in your head. After 1998, after the Yankees won the World Series, Brian Cashman decided, you know what? I'm not going to sign Randy Johnson because he is old and he wants to get overpaid, right? So he's not going to sign Randy Johnson. But 2 years later, he gave money to Mike Mussina more than what Randy Johnson requested at the time. I love Mike Mussina. Don't get me wrong. I love the Moose. I remember growing up chanting the Moose whenever I went to Yankee Stadium. But you cannot tell me a starting rotation of Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, and Andy Pettitte, that doesn't excite you? Just thinking about the possibility of what could have been? Also, after 2003, right, when Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte decided they wanted to go home to Houston, cool. Brian Cashman said, we need to get young with this starting rotation. So what did Brian Cashman do? He traded for Javier Vasquez, who was in his 20s, young pitcher, but then he traded for Kevin Brown, who was 39, 40 years old. You cannot say you want to get young with your starting rotation if you're trading for Kevin Brown, who at the time was turning 40. These are Brian Cashman's moves. These are the moves that he made.
He knows better. I mean, he knows more than you, Hector, right? He thinks, you know,
he definitely knows more than me.
Yeah, he knows how to make a team, a $300 million team, look like the Oakland A's. So I mean, it's just, I don't at this point. I don't know. I don't know where we go unless we hit rock bottom, because Cashman's just gonna, business as usual. We'll turn the corner here. We got, this and that, and these guys are just a little bit off, and we're right there. We're just we're. I'm tired of it.
And that's what I'm saying. Change is only going to happen if we go through a bad stretch. That's the only way how it's going to make change. If we don't make the postseason, if things start getting embarrassing for our team, that's the only way Hal Steinbrenner is going to make changes. That's the only way. Because if we make the postseason, if we just get there, you guys know how the machine is going to work when it comes to the excuses. Well, we didn't get that far because of injuries. Well, some guys didn't perform like the back of their baseball cards. You already know the copy and paste answers that they are going to have. But like Scares AK-47 just put in the chat, the only way things are going to happen if the Yankees don't make the playoffs. That's the only way change is going to come to this roster.
KC Funtime also has a good point in there. They're
see.
making their money. They're worth $8 billion. So
yeah.
Yeah.
They're making their money. And this is what frustrates me, right? Because I want to sit down, right? Us Yankee fans, we deserve explanation. I brought it up in 2009 when the Yankees won a World Series, right? The team was valued at about 3.7 billion, around that range, right? $3 billion. Right. That is what the Yankees was valued at in 2009, the last time they won a championship. In 2009, they had a payroll of $213 million. That's what the Yankees payroll was in 2009. The second highest payroll was $110 million from the New York Mets. That was the second highest payroll. Yankees had double their payroll. The New York Mets, their value in 2009 was a little under $1 billion, $900 million and some change. That is what the New York Mets were valued. What has changed when it comes to philosophy in 2023, I should say, when your team is valued at $8 billion, but you have the third highest payroll? I'm not saying that just spending money is going to bring you championships. In 2009, we spent money and we got a championship. I just want to understand, where did the philosophy change when it comes to an organization approach? What makes you decide we're not going to spend money, even though we're valued more than double what we were in 2009? That's what I want to understand.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. I brought it up. Their money is spent on basically one player, Aaron Judge. Yes, Aaron, Garrett Cole, and there's Stanton, and now Rodon. You can't build an organization or a World Series caliber team on just 3 to 4 players. It has to be spread out.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 26-man roster. 4 guys are not going to carry this team with minor leaguers. Basically, it's 4 guys and minor leaguers that are out of position, and there's no business of them being in the major leagues.
Nope.
You can't win with a team like that, and that's what they have built. Cashman is okay with it. Hey, we've spent money. We were spending money. Yeah, you're spending it in the wrong places on 1 or 2 guys, and guess what? Aaron Judge not playing. Carlos Rodon not playing. 2 of your huge contracts are not even on the field. We haven't even seen Rodon in 1 game yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you doing? What's the fix here, Cashman? What's happening here?
I'm reading off the lineup from Friday's game when we got blown out 15-5 against the Red Sox. Bowers led off the game. He is batting .221.
Decent.
Giancarlo Stanton, he's batting .221. Gleyber Torres is batting .252. Anthony Rizzo is batting .265. Josh Donaldson is batting .160. Willie Calhoun is batting .238. Billy McKinney, short stint with the Yankees, he's batting .310. That's a little bit of a positive. But if you're getting excited because Billy McKinney has the highest batting average on your team, you know you done messed up. Kyle Higashioka batting .240. Anthony Volpe batting .195. And Anthony Volpe, he was 0 for 10 in the Red Sox series with 7 strikeouts in the doubleheader.
Regressed.
In the doubleheader, he was 0 for 10 with 7 strikeouts.
That lineup sounded like a split squad in the preseason. Honestly,
it sounded like a spring training split squad. Yeah. Like it literally does sound like a spring training split squad. Plate Rap is in the building. Plate Rap says IKF has more pitching appearances than Rodon. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. It's true. It's true, and it's pretty sad, but it's It's pretty true.
Jason's out here. Here
One
he is.
said, "This is why I think a team opt out would be awesome. I knew the MLBPA would never agree to it, but if players can opt out of bigger deals, teams should opt out of a crap play for a big contract."
I wish.
All right, I believe that. I see you on that one.
Oh my goodness.
Pete says, "I believe in my guys, Carlos, the stash Rodon." Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What other
just want to
chats we
see
got in
him
the
pitch
building?
once.
Hold on. I seen one. Ruben said it. Shout out to my brother Ruben. I hate thinking like this. I'm usually not for sitting healthy players who can play. Should Judge get the surgery now instead of waiting for the pain to subside, then get the surgery later? I hope he can avoid surgery, Ruben. I hope he can avoid surgery. But if the Yankees aren't competing for anything, if we are out when it comes to the wild card chase by the time Judge comes back, why even play him? Just sit him as much as you can so you can rest up. If you want to bring him back for like the last month stretch, cool, copy. If we're going to get him back in the middle of August, trying to still compete when we're out of it, I would say sit him down. Don't risk an injury. Don't try to further an injury. I really hope he doesn't have to get surgery. Talking to the doc, he kind of hinted that he can avoid surgery. He doesn't have to get surgery. But with the news that just came out over the weekend of him getting a second shot, and then you heard Aaron Boone, oh, well, we can get him back in 1 week or we can get him back in 4 weeks. Bro, what are you saying? What are you saying, bro? And this is the shit that gets us frustrated. When you come out there and say, well, we can get him back in 1 week or we can get him back in 4 weeks. What do you want us fans to believe?
They know. Honestly, I mean, if he comes back and then re-injures it and we lose him possibly the next season, I mean, it makes no sense. They're paying him all that money. I would rest him, and if he needs a surgery, I'd have him get the surgery and be done with this year, because right now it looks like a complete wash. It's just it's a disaster.
Yeah. Honestly, it's your dogs. That's how upset your dogs are with the whole situation. They're just losing it. My brother Pete, have a great rest of the show, fellas. I will see you all later on tonight. Push it to 17K subs. Appreciate you, my brother Pete. Make sure you guys tune in later on. Like he said, Eric Kratz, Scott Braun from Foul Territory, friend of the channel, friend of the show. They will be on with our brother Pete Simonetti. Make sure you guys tune into Game Season Live, because like even if the Yankees are struggling, at least Peter's gonna make it exciting. That's one thing we got to say. He doesn't sugarcoat anything for anyone. Darrow Lead On is in the building. After Luke Voigt and Gary Sanchez leave the Yankees, Cashman said that we need more athletic players. Then he signs Calhoun and Cordero. Facts, Darrow. Facts.
Yeah,
that's right there. Gotta hit it on the head with the big facts.
Right. Yeah,
bro.
I don't know what he sees. Does he have like some goggles that he wears that he sees?
I have no idea. I have no idea. None whatsoever. But I gotta pull this up. Talking about Josh Donaldson, and shout out to Yankee Source as well on Twitter. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They are a real good Twitter account that follows the Yankees and put out amazing stats. But Josh Donaldson has 531 at-bats with the New York Yankees in 2 seasons. And in those 2 seasons, he is batting .215 with a 300 on-base percentage and a 386 slugging. He has 28 doubles, 21 home runs, and 60 walks while striking out 165 times. He has an OPS plus of 95. League average in Major League Baseball when it comes to OPS plus is 100. So Josh Donaldson, for his $25 million that he is earning over the past 2 seasons with the Yankees, he is below average when it comes to Major League OPS. He has a .215 batting average. He has a 300 on base percentage and a 386 slugging. What else do you need to see? Cut this guy, cut bait, and bring up Peraza at this point. There's nothing else that you need to see from this man. Honestly, there's nothing else.
And honestly, with the 21 homers there, I would say 19 of them were meaningless. Ninth inning, we're down by 15 runs, home runs. That's his home runs. They're meaningless. 215. That's unacceptable. He should be benched. He should never be sniffing the starting lineup. Never. 300 on base percentage. That's way below league average.
Like
I
Jason
don't get
said
it.
earlier in the chat. Hold on, I'm trying to bring it up. He said, "Forget it about last year. Retire now.
Yeah.
Retire now." Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up right now. There we go. We need Donaldson to retire now, not after the season, like he said he might do. Just retire, my guy. And I understand he may not retire because he wants to get his money. He wants to get what's owed with him. Listen, if you're the Yankees at this point, cut bait, because he's going to try to stick on for as long as he's going to try to stick on so he can get that money. He's going to get the money no matter what. Just cut him, pay him the money, and bring up Peraza. Point blank.
Yeah, Peraza should definitely be up here. There's no sense of keeping him in AAA with the performance that Donaldson. It's a slap in the face to that kid. I feel so bad for Peraza. And it's like, what do you got to do? I mean, I get it. He was a professional player, but he's done. He's done. Peraza.
He's far past his prime. He is far past his prime.
That's what Cashman does. He gets guys past their prime, thinking they're gonna turn it around. That's what he says every single year. Wait for it. They're gonna turn it around. They're gonna turn. No, we know they're not.
And AK-47, he said, "You guys think it's the money they owe Josh is the reason they won't give him the?" Absolutely. They're paying him $25 million. They're gonna say you're gonna earn that $25 million no matter what. You're gonna earn that today. I definitely think that's what it is. They owe him the money, and that's why they're not cutting him. They want him to earn that money. John 94 also said this on Twitter. Shout out to my guy John, and let this stick with you, Yankee fans. Brian Cashman really had the balls to say Gio Urshela was no Josh Donaldson. Well, Gio was actually someone who can put the ball in play and get on base. We got a washed up Josh Donaldson, point blank, period. And like Jason says, the only way they don't pay every cent is a trade, and that ain't happening. No one's going to be trading for Josh Donaldson and his $25 million or whatever's left on that $25 million contract. Nobody. Also, guys, if you guys can, smack that like button. We was at 52 viewers, and we have 48 likes right now. So if you guys can, smack the like button. We are 2 likes away from 50. So if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. Help us get to 50 likes on the view right now on the stream. But bro, we got a game tonight versus the Mariners. Texas comes into town later on this week. What's your expectations for these next 2 series, bro?
Well, this first game with Cole, this has to set the tone. We have to win this game. We have to win every game that Cole starts. He has to go out there. He has to give us 6 to 7 innings, maybe 1, maybe 2 or less runs. It has to be 2 or less runs, because that's about all we can score. He's got to give us some length. I have no faith in the hitting at all, and we're facing Kirby, and he shut us down. He made, he's a Sandy Koufax over there. I have no faith. This is the same lineup. There's nobody. I mean, Bader's coming back, but he can't save. Just him alone can't save this lineup. So it's got to be Cole. Honestly, I think it's got to be a shutout.
Yeah, but the way that this offense has been struggling, Garrett Cole, he needs to pitch a shutout. That's the only way that can guarantee us being in the game, because we scored 1 run each game against Boston except for Friday. Both doubleheader.
3 runs in the doubleheader, and then we had 8 overall the whole weekend.
That's you ain't gonna win many major league series if that's what you're putting out there. So hopefully Garrett Cole can shut them down for 8 innings, 9 innings. Hopefully, like Medina said, hopefully we can have a 2-4 homestand and not get swept in both games. No, because honestly, that's the only way that we could pray for right now when it comes to this team. And it's that sad. Right there is us being happy with the homestand, just going 2-4. But guys, we appreciate all you guys for tuning in. We were able to gain 7 subs. We are sitting at 707 subs right now on the channel. If you guys are watching this, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button also to help us get out to other Yankee fans. We appreciate everybody that was in the chat. Like I said, make sure you tune in to Game Season Live tonight with my brother Pete Simonetti. And also, make sure you tune in to All Rise tomorrow morning, because I will be on with my brother Pete Simonetti tomorrow morning on All Rise over on nyynewstv. I'm making a little double appearance. You feel me? You feel me?
If you guys like Nick's content, your boy Phil.
I was just about to say, tune in tonight. Knicks with Phil tonight. The Knicks recap. Make sure you tune in with my guy Phil. Make sure you bring in a drink, because it's going to be a Knicks nightcap, a nice little recap just so we can get ready for the season. Make sure you guys tune in. Like I said, support us over here on the channel. Support other Yankee content creators as well. Go subscribe to everybody. But we're coming down to that day. We're coming down to that time, I should say. TC, any last words before we get out of here? Because I swear to God, I'm going to go out that building and I'm gonna kill whoever is blowing, whoever has a lawn blow. I mean, a leaf blower right now. I live in Inwood. I live by Dykeman. There's concrete. What the hell do you have a leaf blower for? Go ahead, TC.
I don't know. Hey guys, hold your heads up high. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen, but you know, we gotta keep pushing on, and then hopefully they turn it around. But September 23rd, if you haven't got tickets for the event, NYY News, there's a whole bunch of things happening.
Yes.
If it isn't for the game, just be there for all of the Yankee fans you're going to see there. It's a family. You're not going to want to miss it. Get your tickets.
Yes. And like, if you guys are a member of Pete's channel and his Discord, I know he dropped a little bit of the tea of what's going to be there. You're not going to want to miss out. Stay tuned for every other news that comes out for the event September 23rd, but you're not going to miss out. But like always, deuces.